Jai Gurudev, Dr. Brahma, I think Belaji hasn't joined yet. Shall I start, Dr. Brahma, if you are not free?
Ritaji, we can start, I think. Both are not present there, no?
Okay. No, Dr. Brahma, I
Is
like
there?
she was saying.
But she may be working.
Okay. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanao Bhunattu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Narayanam Namaskrityam Navam Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayam Udiriyet. I'll just share the.
Just give me 2 minutes, huh? I'm really sorry.
It's fine, Belaji.
I'm really sorry. After Kriya, I just slept off.
Yeah, it happens. You can continue. I just said the prayer. You can.
Dhanyavad.
Yeah. Fine.
Just a minute, huh? My mail is not opening. Just 2 minutes, huh? Exit and come.
Belaji, shall I share the screen? Are you able to hear? Like, am I audible?
Yes, Savita ji, you are audible.
What did
What is-
Belaji said just now?
Her mail is not opening, so she's trying.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'll
It has
share.
opened now. It has opened now. Yeah.
Okay.
Really sorry, I wasted so much time. It was page number.
It is local.
Yeah. Are you able to see the screen? Yeah.
Yes, Belaji, yes. But you
Yeah.
can expand it.
Yeah.
We were on page number 209.
Yeah.
Ranjana, हे धुंध फिर
Parichedya, and we did this Pramana Parichedka.
Shloka 18, we were doing that.
Yes, 18 shloka. Atma is not established by Pramana.
What happened?
Page number rather 210, 210. You can read
Yeah,
from 209 or maybe.
it became blank. Right?
Yeah,
Yes,
the page has gone.
no, no. 129 only. It's 203.
209, yeah.
Yeah, it will take time. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it's come. It has come. 209.
This is 281. हाँ 281 तो ऊपर ना श्लोका 44 आएगी पेज नंबर ध्यान रखना थे ऊपर 269 आए ऊपर जाओगे 261 57 1 बस 209 209 पेज Yeah, I will just read the shloka 18. अन्तवन्त इमे देहा नित्यसोक्ता शरीरिणः अनाशीनो प्रमेयस्य तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत. It is said that these bodies of the embodied self have an end. The self is eternal, indestructible, incomprehensible. Therefore, fight, O Bharata. So yesterday, Dr. Savitaji had read how it is a prameya, right? I will just connect with the last paragraph. Any object of knowledge that can be known in the form of a cognition, such as this is a pot, this is a cloth, this is a tree, this is a man, this is a woman, is parichedya because an object of knowledge is conditioned or limited in nature and perceived as such through the sense organs. Therefore, the sense organs become parichedakas and the objects are parichedyas. That which is not known in a determinate form as an object by all these pramanas is what is meant here by aprameya. So through eyes, whatever we are able to perceive, yeah, they are all, you can say that they are all like the example of the eye and the object it was given, right? So they are how they are through different karanas, that is the sense objects, we are able to perceive the things. So they are all parichedakas. Sense organ, through suppose through eyes you are able to see, then sense organs they are parichedakas and the objects are parichedyas. So they are the pramanas. You are able to see with the eye. So that's why they are. But here when you say the Atma, it is aprameya because it is not perceivable. Brahman is not one more object that you see like the pot or the tree. If Brahman is also parichedya, then it becomes one of the objects in the world and therefore becomes anitya. However, Brahman cannot be known by the pratyakshadi pramanas, the various means of knowledge that are available to us, such as perception, inference, etc. The etc. Adi here includes words, shabda, meaning that the Veda is also a pramana. When the Veda is a pramana, then heaven, Swarga, for example, is a prameya and therefore a parichedya. Knowledge gained by Shabda Pramana is again determinate knowledge because heaven is not hell, earth, or this or that. It is a distinct object. Thus, there is limitation. If heaven is mentioned by the Vedas, then it means that it is something which can be known distinctly. Similarly, when you say punya, it is not papa. It is not produced by wrong karma. It is produced by right karma. In this way, we understand what punya is and what it does purely by the shabda, the word. Therefore, shabda is also a pramana, a means of knowledge. So here again, one more addition that even when the Vedas, when you talk about, even the Shabda, they also become the Pramana. So that's why even the Swarga Loka and other lokas are also, they are also having the limitation they are also through the Shabda Pramana. Atma is not established by a Pramana. If the Atma cannot be known even by Shabda, why then do you study the Gita Shastra? If it is not an object of knowledge for the Pratyakshadi Pramanas, how can Vedanta be a Pramana for the Atma? Addressing this question, Shankara first says that Atma is not known by any Pramana, including the Veda, because it is not an object of knowledge. Thinking that Atma could be known through this Pramana, a person goes to a guru, does a lot of service, and at the end of it, the guru says that Atma is not known even through the Veda. Since the guru teaches only the Veda, what is the use of all this? Naturally, such a person thinks it has all been a waste. He or she also thinks that the Atma is understood perhaps through the Pratyakshadi Pramanas. Shankara refuted this notion here by saying that Atma is not known by the Pratyakshadi Pramanas, including the Veda. Before you listen to the Vedanta Shastra, Atma must be there. The existence of Atma is not established by a pramana like the Veda, nor can it be established by the perception, pratyaksha, or inference, anumana. If the existence of Atma were to be established by any of the pramanas, resulting in such knowledge as here is a pot, here is a table, here is the Swami sitting, etc., then we would be using perception, of course. But we would not be establishing the Atma behind the perception. Only when the knower is already established can there be an inquiry through a pramana. So here, because Atma is not perceivable through Pratyakshadi Pramanas, even through Vedas, it is said that you are not able to perceive, you are not able to understand. Because Vedas are also like Shabda Pramana. So the way you can say for the objects that here is a pot, here is a table, because you are able to perceive them, you are able to have the with the length, breadth, and depth. In the same way, you cannot say here is the Atma because it is not perceivable. But who is seeing? Like previously, the example was given, I think, that when there was one devotee, he said that in the room we will do the recording and we will see who is present there. Nobody is there. So Swamiji, so he said, no, Atma is also not there. Then Swamiji had said that who is saying that nobody is there? Yeah, so that is, you have, you cannot, the Shabdas also cannot prove the Atma. So that is why, before you listen, I will just read this last paragraph again. Before you listen to the Vedanta Shastra, Atma must be there. The existence of Atma is not established by pramana like the Veda, nor can it be established by perception, pratyaksha, or inference, anumana. If the existence of Atma were to be established by any of the pramanas, resulting in such knowledge as here is a pot, here is a table, here is the Swami sitting, etc., then we would be using perception, of course. But we would not be establishing the Atma behind the perception. Only when the knower is already established can there be an inquiry through a pramana. So once the knower is established, then the next vichara can begin. Vedanta vichara, inquiry, can only be done when there is an Atma to inquire. If Vedanta were to establish the Atma, it would mean that until one inquired into Vedanta, Atma did not exist. This means you were not there. Who is it then that goes to Vedanta which says that Atma is limitless? Moreover, who listens to this Vedanta? The Atma. The one who wants to know anything is the same one who can use any of the pramanas to inquire into what is to be known. Even before the pramanas are pressed into service for gathering such knowledge, there must be a self-evident Atma. Therefore, the Veda does not establish the Atma as it does any other existent thing. Heaven, Swarga, for instance. A Swarga that is unknown to me is made known to me by the Shastra. I come to know of something called Punya that is said to be dormant in a karma, which can be invoked through the Shastra alone. Thus, we find these unknown things discussed in the Shastra as potentially existent things. Similarly, there are many unknown things in the world which we come to know through the various pramanas. A new disease, for example. Having come to know about it, we say the disease is. After discovering it, we look for its cause. Then, after finding the cause, we say the cause is. And the treatment for the cause is. After treatment, we say the side effects are. Like this, with the help of pramanas, we keep on discovering things that exist, but which were so far not known. Although Atma is not available as an object of knowledge, it is not totally unknown. In fact, Shankara says that Atma is not something unknown to anyone. It is always self-evident, swatah siddha, self-established. No one's Atma is unknown. Everyone's Atma is known. Only then is the operation of the pramanas possible. The Atma is not established by a pramana, it is swatah siddha. So the way, for example, the example of a disease is given, and for that matter, any scientific discoveries, like law of gravity. It is not that before Newton told it did not exist. It was already there. Yeah, after, but you are just discovering the effects. So because it is through the pramanas. Like that, for Atma, you do not need any pramana because it is swatah siddha. It is self-evident, self-established. So it is always known because it is nitya. Yeah, if you want me to repeat or share, please feel free to share. We want to do the manana on that, about the Swatah Siddha Atma, which doesn't need any pramana, because whatever is there, it is because of the Atma.
Like three words are what? Parichedya, Parichedak, and third one is for object is a Parichedya. And the what we see like eyes is the Parichedak. Then third one
Parichedaka.
is Parichedaka, means which penetrate and see. We can see like that. Parichedak means भेदन करते हैं वैसे. And
Because they are
Parichedya means
pratyaksha pramana.
object.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Correct.
And third
Eyes
word
are the
was
parichedaka.
third word was what?
Parichedaka, parichedya, and pramana.
Uh, and Atma is aprameya, means we cannot parichedya, it is not a parichedak, and
Hmm.
means parichedya, it is not an object, and we cannot perceive because of the
Correct.
parichedak, means there is he it is not a parichedak also. We
Yeah,
cannot see
because
with
it is
us.
correct.
Hmm.
It is
Atma
Swayam
Sit-
Siddha.
Swayam Siddha.
Hmm. It is self-evident.
Means means I'm smiling also because we cannot describe Atma. We cannot speak about it. Nothing like that.
Yeah. Yeah, like Mrinalji said yesterday, you cannot see
Hmm.
yourself. Like without
You
mirror,
are
you
seeing
need a
yourself.
mirror.
Hmm.
Yeah. And that mirror is like, yeah. So
Hmm.
even these different lokas, they are also, because through Veda we are able to have, Vedas are the pramanas to have through Papa Punya we are able to.
Swarga. Hmm.
So for Atma, you do not need any pramana because it is Swataha Siddha. And that is why it is so simple that it is not, still it is, we feel, because we are so much conditioned to have the pramanas always. Like that one beautiful song by Swami Tejo Mayanand Ji, na? Ekmeva dvitiyam ye Brahma, ekmeva dvitiyam ye Brahma, nirgunam nirvikalpam nirve. That it was very beautiful song, no? I had played once as a meditation. So it is only that Advitiya and Aprameya.
Hmm.
Mhm. So the Shastra as a Pramana. Then the problem would be, what about the Shastra? If I already know the Atma, how can the Vedanta Shastra be a Pramana? Here Shankara says that the Shastra is definitely a Pramana. How? Revealing the existence of Atma is not what establishes the Shastra as a Pramana. But the Shastra has the status of a Pramana because it removes the wrong notions I have about Atma. Very beautiful paragraph. I just read once again. The Shastra as a Pramana. Then the problem would be, what about the Shastra? If I already know the Atma, how can the Vedanta Shastra be a Pramana? Here, Shankara says that the Shastra is definitely a Pramana. How revealing the existence of Atma is not what establishes the Shastra as a Pramana. But the Shastra has the status of a Pramana because it removes the wrong notions I have about Atma. Atma by nature is Param Brahma, and that Param Brahma is not known to us. The pramanas available to us are only good for knowing things other than ourselves. This Atma is already Swatah Siddha. And it is this Swatah Siddha Atma that is mistaken for a Jiva, a doer, Karta, an enjoyer, Bhokta, one who is happy one moment and sad the next, Sukhi and Dukhi. That I am a Jiva, an individual, means that I am someone who is limited, as good as the body, etc. This is the natural conclusion of every Jiva because of ignorance, avidya. So, very beautifully, Swamiji has explained that through Shastra only we negate the whatever we can see, whatever perceivable, and we are conditioned with so many births by assuming that I am that physical body. But through the Veda, we are able to remove those avidya, those wrong notions which we have been conditioned. So I will just repeat once again this beautiful paragraph, second paragraph. Atma by nature is Param Brahma, and that Param Brahma is not known to us. The pramanas available to us are only good for knowing things other than ourselves. This Atma is already Swatah Siddha. And it is this Swatah Siddha Atma that is mistaken for a Jiva, a doer, Karta, an enjoyer, Bhokta, one who is happy one moment and sad the next, Sukhi and Dukhi. That I am a Jiva, an individual, means that I am someone who is limited, as good as the body, etc. This is the natural conclusion of every Jiva because of ignorance, avidya. The status of being a Jiva, Jivatva, has been superimposed upon the Atma. In other words, the seeking person is born of avidya. This is an error of self-identity, which only the Shastra can resolve. One's own pramanas are of no use here. The Shastra does not prove the existence of the Atma, it only removes the confusion. For this reason, it has the status of being a pramana. That is, it has pramanatva. It does not bring to your recognition the Atma as an object that is totally unknown, as it does for other unknown things, like heaven, for instance. So here, very beautifully, Swamiji has explained how Vedanta through Shastra, they become pramana for even for the Atma. Although they do not bring the in our cognition, but at least they remove the avidya, the ignorance part, what we are not that we know. Please let me know if you want to share or you want me to repeat. When the Shastra says there is a heaven, heaven as an unknown thing is brought to your understanding. You understand that there is such a thing as heaven. When the Shastra says that this particular ritual will produce this particular result, it is definitely bringing an unknown thing to your recognition. That this ritual has this efficacy is not known to you by any other pramana. Therefore, the Shastra has the status of being a pramana by bringing to your recognition something that is totally unknown to you and that cannot be known by you through any other pramana. Like, for example, the example of the heaven is given. Yeah, although it is an unknown thing, but still it can bring to your cognition, recognition what is unknown to you through the pramana. When it comes to the Atma, the Shastra has pramanatva only in so far as it removes all superimpositions upon the Atma. The knowledge is nothing but the removal of ignorance. It cannot be a superimposition upon ignorance. If ignorance is not removed, there is no knowledge at all. Ignorance being opposed to knowledge. Only the removal of ignorance is necessary. Ignorance of Atma is present, and the Shastra has the capacity to remove it, meaning that it removes all the confusions centered on Atma. But Atma is self-evident, that is why there is confusion. The Atma is self-evident, but that it is limitless is not known. Hence, all the limitations of the body, mind, etc. are superimposed on it. So, here again, the proof is there why the Shastra has that pramanatva, because we have been superimposing what we are as a physical body through janmas. But here, Shastra is giving us that you are not that body. You are beyond the body. You are beyond the time. You are beyond the kala. So, so far we were ignorant, but that knowledge is brought, and through that we know that we are not this limited body, which has, and through that that is the cause of our all janmas. Because we were in that ignorance that I am that body. But Shastra, through its pramanatva, it removes that superimposition. So beautiful, no? Yeah, please share your understanding.
Atma is Swatha Siddha. This we experience in our deep sleep or maybe a glimpse in the meditation. It is self-evident, but that it is limitless is not known. You know, this last line, second last line.
Yes.
Atma is self-evident, but it is limitless is not known. That is the superimposition we do because of our body-mind complex. We limit it, limit because of the limitation of this body. We limit ourselves, and but the Shastra says that it is limitless, and basically the Shastra has Shastra is describing Atma in a negative principle, like with that negation principle rather. Which we read in that what was that, Bilaji? We listened to the
Nirvana Shatakam.
Nirvana Shatkam. Yeah, In that we heard so many, I think 7 8 for the shivoham wala hota na description. In that it was very beautifully described.
Yeah,
So it
even
is,
in Maya Panchakam also.
yeah. So it is basically the Shastra help us to understand that negation principle of understanding a little bit about Atma. That that is the main role of Shastra. Otherwise, Shastra is only helping us to understand which are the unknown things which we do not know, like this heaven or the you can say that the anteshti that for the putra anteshti, you know, that how to gain a boy, and like these type of things the shastra tells you.
Yeah,
uh,
Karma Kand.
Otherwise, yeah, otherwise Atma is self-evident.
Yeah.
It is said we know it is already there. What is there, but we are not perceiving, which is unknown to us. That Shastra gives the glimpse.
Hmm.
No, it is like Shastra does not give you the glimpse. Shastra,
Shastra gives the whatever inquiry we have, we go close to know what is unknown to us. But as a Atma is self existing, it is always there and we know it, but we
that
it
ignorance,
is there. Hmm.
yeah, Shastra helps to remove that ignorance. That ignorance which is there, because of which we superimpose our body mind complex upon that
Conditioning,
big I.
conditioning.
Yeah, that big I, we impose our these body mind complex upon it, and we think ourselves to be very limited. So Shastra helps you to remove that the
Ignorance.
ignorance of that superimposition and
Hmm.
go nearer to that that self-evident Atma. It only because of that confusions we have.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because we are so much conditioned to that Bahirmukhi type. We are perceiving, we are conditioned to perceptions only. But when
Where
we
the
become
buddhi is there.
antarmukhi, when we become antarmukhi, when you saw, like Gurudev such beautifully says, it is a journey from manaha to namaha.
Yeah.
So our mind takes us on the external journey, but when you go within through namaha, then it shows you the reality, who you are actually.
And somewhere back we read, no, that how like reading all the Shastra, how that cleansing is happening, and all all what is related to our body mind complex with in which we get entangled, all that attributes like jealousy, anger, all that hatred, all how slowly they leave you. And when you are like you are rid of all the negative attributes or vritya, then it is then that you that I is related to Brahman, and then your I, that yourself, inner self, is connected with that Brahman, and you are the Brahman. So
Mhm.
it is this way that Shastra is helping. Shastra is helping us to uh, get rid of our all the vrityas and vikshepa, and then that feeling of that taking our body um, as the as you know, you feel that this body is your like you are this body. Basically we are not the body, we are beyond. But because we have that day, this body we are having from many janmas, so we have this in our mind, uh, and how we see our image in the mirror, we identify ourselves with this body, right?
Mm.
So
Correct.
how slowly we uh, get rid of all these vritti and vikshepa and all the negative tendencies, and
Yeah,
this is because of the knowledge of the shastra, vedanta, guru, and
yeah.
abhyasa. Yeah,
Our karanas are getting cleaned. Like Prem
yeah,
Bhaiya had given that beautiful example, huh? That every time when you are taking the water, it may not be the first attempt, it will be clean, but again and again when you are doing that, Shuddhikarana happens. Those
yes,
Dvesha are removed, and it will be the purity of Antakarana is there. And that Samatva will come, whether.
yes. That samat will come, that I and you are the same, and
Mhm.
when we have that samatva, that is the last step, I think. When you have that samatva in that level, that we are not differentiating oneself with others, it is that that is, I think, the last step. When you stop differentiating between people and you think they are all one, they are me and myself are they, like vice
Hmm.
versa.
So
Yeah,
complete dissolution. I mean, it gets
yeah,
dissolved. Your Mhm.
yeah.
Beautiful. So that's why here Swamiji is saying Shastra also has that pramanatva to remove our avidya, to remove that ignorance, that superimposition we have been having from janmas. Aham alpagnya, aham kinchidagnya. And because of that ignorance only, we continue our external journey, bahirmukhi. We continue that I want more, whether it is in terms of wealth or hunger or whichever form, prestige or. Shall I read further? Atma is already known but not as an object. If Atma were to be totally unknown like heaven, you would not say that you are a Sukhi or a Dukhi or a Samsari. To say I'm finished is possible only because you have concluded that you are a Samsari. Therefore, the Atma, I, is already self evident. However, it is taken for something other than what it is, and the Shastra makes the necessary correction, thereby proving itself to be a pramana. So we conclude when something happens as we are happy or we are sad or we are a samsari, that jivatva. But Shastra, through its pramana, it says what you are not. Because the Atma, which is self-evident, it doesn't require you to have any pramana. But through its negation, as Savitaji rightly said, that what you are not. Shankara quotes the Shastra saying that this Brahma Atma is self-evident, aparoksha. That which is self-evident is the Atma Brahman. Everything else becomes evident to the self. In this verse, Krishna says that all bodies are subject to destruction, whereas Atma, the indweller of the body, is not subject to destruction because it is the subject, not an object, aprameya. This is the point here. Any object is subject to destruction, whereas Atma, not being an object, is Nitya. Anything aprameya is Nitya. And only one thing is aprameya, the Swatah Siddha Atma. Therefore, Atma is not subject to time and thus not subject to destruction. So even in the previous shloka also it is the given now, Avinashi. It is not subject to destruction. So here also again and again Krishna is telling Arjuna that all the physical bodies they are subject to destruction, but the indweller of the physical bodies, which is aprameya, achedya, which is nitya, is not subject to destruction. It is aprameya. So Krishna concluded by saying, therefore fight Arjuna, tasmat yudhyasva bharata. What does this mean? There is nothing for you to be sad about. Things that die, die. Things that are dying, die. Things that remain permanent, remain permanent. If Arjuna wanted to destroy Bhishma's Atma, he could not. Had he wanted to stop Bhishma's body from dying, he could not. Either way, Arjuna could not do anything. Therefore, what is to be done is to be done. Shankara says here that Krishna was not giving Arjuna an order to fight. That is not the point here. The meaning here was, do not entertain the idea of withdrawing from this battlefield. What is the difference between this statement and an order to fight? There is a difference, Shankara says. This was not a command that one should actually fight. If it was not a command, then was it a request? No. Arjuna was already prepared to fight. He had come with his entire armory, but then found himself obstructed by sorrow and delusion. He was shoka moha pratibadha. That is why he became silent. He could not proceed because he was completely paralyzed psychologically and emotionally for various reasons. Therefore, he was no longer interested in fighting and turned his attention to something else. All that Bhagwan was doing here was removing the sorrow and delusion that were the obstructions, pratibandhas. Afterwards, if the fighting was to be done, then it was to be done. Therefore, Yudhyasva was not a command. It was only asking Arjuna to do what was to be done. It was only a restatement of what he was planning to do. Bhagavan does not ask people to fight each other. Gita Shastra, Shankara states, is not a pravritti Shastra like the Karma Kanda, which enjoins people to perform various rituals and other actions. It is a Nivritti Shastra, Moksha Shastra. To have asked Arjuna to fight would have been a Pravritti Shastra, whereas the Nivritti here is the removal of the cause of samsara, sorrow, and delusion, which is ignorance. So beautifully. In this verse, Bhagavan had said that you are not killing the Atma. Because of that, Arjuna was deluded. So he's just removing his ignorance. It is not so beautiful. It is said, no, the people said Mahabharata, it is prompting people to fight. No, it is not like that. Arjuna was already prepared and he had come to the battlefield. But looking at his own people, he was deluded. Shoka Moha Pratibadha. Yeah, please share. I think we can repeat this tomorrow. Please share your takeaway. We can repeat this tomorrow. Yeah, any
Basically, Krishna was
I would
counseling Arjuna. Yeah. Yes.
about I think about 3 4 days back when we did that story between the Dvait and Advait, and that time the first caller tells that even the running was mithya,
Hmm.
and there was no fear that uh, in him when he was running. That sentence hit me very hard. Like there was no emotions when the karma was being done or karma of running was being done. So my mind went back to, I think there was a video of Gurudev on Drashya and Drashta. When the Drashta is completely disassociated from the Drashya, the seer and the scenery, and you're so what happens is most of the times in life is that we get associated with the karma that we are doing. My teenage son leaves his bedroom in a mess. I have to clean it up. I have to take responsibility. You feel anger, you feel sad, you feel melancholy about it. So you are associating emotions with the action of cleaning up his room. Only when that is all the dirt that is there on our atma. Like when we are completely able to disassociate ourselves, and that will come when we feel one. We say we love our son, but then why there is so much anger with him? If we are really one with him, we can be firm with him, give him the guidance necessary, but that negative emotion should not overpower us. Just like Arjun is being overpowered in the battlefield, and Krishna has to tell him, you wage war, you cannot even kill the atma of Bhishma, even if you want to. It's only his body that is there that you will have to do away with. So I think that all the impurities, all that realization of the Atma, I think at our state now we realize, just like if I tell you, raise your right hand, or shake your left foot, you will be able to do it without thinking. So now probably we have all realized that our Atma is there. Only the impurities, the samskaras, the past impressions which are there, they cover it up from time to time when we get emotionally attached with anything that we are doing at the moment. So in this big bad world, when we go back to our actions, there we tend to get caught up with all the emotions come up with all the action that we have to perform. My mother-in-law, my teenage son, my maidservant did not come on time or did not come, took a holiday without asking. All those kind of things which emotionally cause upheavals wherever, even if you are at work, my boss, this, that. So I think that getting yourself dissociated from the scenery by the seer is very important. That is where the impurities will start. That story was very correct. I think we missed out on that sentence that was fear involved when he said that when I was running. That was very important, I felt. Okay, the emotion was not at all attached. That is why he called this mithya. My running was also mithya. Dr. Brahmra did bring out that point, but I thought maybe emphasizing more on it was necessary.
so beautiful.
Jai Gurudev.
Yeah, very beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Persiji. Very beautiful. Yeah, that aham karta iti ahamkar. I have to do that. Thank
Emotion is because why I have only to do it? Why only I have to take responsibility? We get bogged down with that most of
you.
the. I think that Gurudev once, if we can watch it, the scenery and the seer, that video must be there. I don't know. I don't have it. It would be wonderful. Like
Hmm. I think that in advanced course we play, no?
No, it's there in the first chapter of the new Patanjali Yoga Sutra. He talks about
Hmm.
new
in
version.
Patanjali talks about it, but there is a solitary video also on the scenery and the scener. In some knowledge session, he had that video was there somewhere.
Hmm. So here also Arjuna was sad because he thought that he has to kill his own people, his own guru, Guru Sudana, he will be called. So he became Shoka Moha Pratibata.
Because
Jai Gurudev.
yeah,
Here, the terrorists who kill others, they too are emotionally not involved, though their intention is different. Uh, but they, if you have seen, they too are not emotionally involved here when they are
They are
doing the
trained
killing
like
part.
that. They are trained like that. That's why Gurudev says, no, don't kill the criminal, kill the crime.
I have worked with terrorists. I've taken advanced course of theirs also. They have a lot of fear in them. Let me tell you this. But during meditation, suddenly they'll open their eyes because they feel that somebody might kill them. And then they look up at you and then tightly shut their eyes like a small child, caught copying in the exams or something like that.
Hmm.
So they have fear. They also have emotion. They learn to overcome fear, but they have a lot of fear in them. Emotionally also they are there. That anger, everything is there for them. Jai Gurudev.
So we have to disassociate ourselves with that conditioned association with the dukkha. And very beautifully, the pravritti and nivritti. I think this paragraph we will repeat tomorrow. Very beautiful it is. Yeah, anyone wants to share or we can stop here? That it is not an order to fight. It is just to remove his delusion, which is overcome by sorrow and just give me 2
चलो विल डू ए शॉर्ट मेडिटेशन. हाँ, सब लोग आराम से बैठ जाइए. एवरीवन सिट कंफर्टेबली इजली. रीढ़ की हड्डी सीधा रखे. लेट्स कीप आवर स्पाइन इरेक्ट. Let's take our attention to the top of the head. And become aware of the vast sky above the head. सिर के ऊपर विशाल गगन है. उस गगन से तरंग हमारे सिर पर पड़ रही है इस वक्त. इसका स्मरण करें. Become aware of the vast space and cosmic rays from the universe falling on your head right this moment. मुस्कुराते मुस्कुराते सारे तरंगों को अपने भीतर स्वीकार करें. With a smile, receive all the vibrations, cosmic vibrations, into your body. Vedic chantings are happening. All other sounds are there. Just welcome them all. मंत्र घोष भी चल रहे कहीं दूर. पूरे वातावरण में पवित्र तरंग उठ रहे हैं. इन सब को आप स्वीकार करें अपने भीतर. Let's also chant Om. हम भी 3 बार ओंकार का ध्वनि करते हैं. गहरी सांस लीजिए. रिलैक्स योर होल बॉडी. पूरे शरीर को ढीला छोड़ दें. लेट एवरी सेल इन आवर बॉडी start to relax, expand, and smile. ओम शांति शांति शांति। और धीरे धीरे आंखें खोल सकते हो। Slowly and gradually you may open your eyes.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Jai Gurudev. Kshamyatam for today wasting the time in the morning. Dhanyavad everybody. Jai Gurudev.